What's going on, everybody? Mr. Thrasha here, and today, as you can tell by the title of the video, we are doing the Jumanji locations, which I had filmed earlier this year in Keene, New Hampshire, and North Berwick, Maine. However, I did not include then and now shots, so you're going to get that today. This is the more cut version. You see a crane shot really from up here a little bit more. You see that church, that one, the statue, everything in the back. Allan, young Allan on his bike riding down this way. So here's the opening crane shot here in Jumanji, and you see that church to the left. You're going to see that a lot. Same with the building to the left of that. The white building to the right, you're going to see a lot too. And see the statues? The one towards the bottom of the screen is the one I'm going to kind of use when I'm at the spots to show you exactly where the lining up was, because the one behind it has been removed and it was changed by the director for the film. Really cool rock, donated July 1st, 1969, just behind the statue. Found that the piece behind the main monument was pretty ugly, so he put this on top of it and they ended up using this. Since this isn't there, I'm just going to kind of use the main Keene monument as the main reference point. And you can see that church there. There's the monument. We're in Keene, New Hampshire. Before we really start showing these spots, like I said, the crane shot opens up here. It's pointing down here. You can see that church. Check this out. Before we start today, I want to say rest in peace to Robin Williams. And this was put up, this mural, for the film, Jumanji.
I'm just Big Brother. Hey, Frank.
Crossing over past the crossing guard over here. I'm gonna walk the exact trail without getting killed. Came down here on his bike. This is right after the opening crane shot. You see Allan come across this exact walkway where I'm walking. Allan rides his bike right over here, right across this exact crosswalk. I'm going on the path he took. And the crossing guard pushes him through. Man, I'd like to fire one of these cannonballs. Too cool to be here. Basically, right after he passes over here on the bike, from this side of the monument, Allan passes off this way. I explained he came from down here. Then you see those kids come out from this side of the monument with their bikes. There's a gang, Billy Jessup's gang started chasing them this way. Off that way to the next location. We're now in North Berwick, Maine. And this is where the old Paris shoe factory was. It's actually an old woolen mill, now apartment complex. The old wood mill, but the kids chased him down here on a bike. Well, on their bikes. He was on a bike, his little blue bike. He was rifling it down here, came down here, past all these exact trees, actually from the film, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. And he comes this way to enter his father's shoe factory on the left side. The Paris shoe factory. Paris shoe sign was up here, and Allan, as a young child, runs into these doors. There's a makeshift white area here that he runs into, leaves his bike just over here by the trees on the corner. Yeah, it's rather cool that all these exact trees are still here. Much more grown up than they were in 1995, of course. But you can see that house with the two windows there, that dark blue house behind Billy Jessup and his gang. It's still looking the same. You can see it down the way where I'm standing right now. After his father realizes it was Billy Jessup picking on him again, he tells him to stand up to him. Because you gotta face your fears in life and stand up to him. And Carl, the soul man up there in the shoe factory, was looking down here at them taking apart his bike getting ready to steal it. So when Allan comes back out here, picks up his bike here, the kids emerge from behind the trees, tell him not to talk to his girlfriend anymore. Says, we're just friends. And then he says, not anymore. They bust his lip, steal his bike, pedal off that way. So once Allan, young Allan Parrish, gets up after getting his lip busted, yells jerks to those kids, starts hearing something. Boom, 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 boom. It's hearing a thumping sound. And he heads literally right over here. None of these benches were here. There was a makeshift construction site over here. And he's following the sounds of boom, 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 boom. Something's drawing him in like a tractor beam. Basically goes right by this pole. One of these hydro poles can actually be seen in the film. And he walks by. This fence was not here, but you get a perfect shot of the construction site, makeshift construction site he wanders onto, following the sound of the beat. And you see that tower to the left. As he inches closer, he walks right onto the construction site that would have been situated here. Oddly enough, no one says anything. People are just working away. I think someone glances at him. No one says anything. He's following the beat. Boom, boom. He finds some rock and he starts pulling away the dirt. Eventually finds a chest. Boom, boom. Beat. Whoa. Jumanji. A game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. And he notices a construction worker taking a glance at him. So picks up the game. He scuffles out of there. Gazebo over here, right in front of what was the old Parrish shoe factory in the film. Really the old woolen mill. It's wild to think that Robin Williams was here once upon a time. Very cool. Same with that actor. I don't know, his name is escaping me, but that actor who got his throat cut in Halloween H2O, who played young Allan Parrish, they were all right here. Wow, it's a very interesting bell at the top of the tower as well. That's totally cool. Totally cool. One more establishing shot. This old woolen mill that was erected in 1862, and all kinds of memorial benches surround this park, which was the makeshift construction site where he found the game in Jumanji. There you go, 1862. The old woolen mill. Here in North Berwick, Maine. When Robin Williams was coming out of the jungle and he was looking for his parents, he comes right by all these stores which were all out of business, covered in spray paint. You see some hobos, and here's a good still from the film. You can see the cannon and the cannonballs to the left of it. See Judy and Peter and the Parrish Shoes mural in the distance across the street. Mural still up from filming Jumanji. So cool. Rest in peace to the late, great Robin Williams. Far and away my favorite movie. He comes by this again, coming off of this street. There's one last place to head to, and that was the factory. See if he could find his father. So as an adult, he comes back up here, and the building's all burned out. They did a really good job addressing it, making it look all burned out. It is a pretty old building, but Up there, a gentleman informs him that the shoe factory closed up, and he offers him some clothes for warmth. And Robin Williams asks, are the Parishes still around? And he says, I see them from time to time. They're over on Adams Street. So after he was informed at what used to be his father's shoe factory, that the man who gave him the clothes said that he still sees his parents around, but they're over at the cemetery. This is Mount Caesar Cemetery, and Mount Caesar Cemetery used in the film Jumanji. I figured might as well get some other wicked stones. Don't get to cover American cemeteries as much as Canadian ones. This Whitcomb stone. Very crazy. And yeah, you see a lot of stones just like that in Jumanji. So it could be really hard to distinguish. I had a thing with the film on it, so I was going to match up the screenshots. Unfortunately, the battery has failed me, so I can't match up the exact screenshot. Not to mention, sorry, it's raining every 5 minutes, so look at these stones. Here comes the rain again. You gotta do what you gotta do when you're there. Here's Robin Williams, Judy, and Peter walking out of the cemetery. Notice those two trees still there today, right in front of that piece of concrete here, those stones. And you can see his parents' grave was kind of to the left of those trees in that vicinity over there. This is a shot as they're walking out. Stones from the 1800s, 1851. These little black stones. 1829. Oh my God. That's crazy. Review cemetery from that angle. Movie history right here. A Robin Williams classic, Jumanji. This is the coolest part, I think, of the cemetery that you see in the film, is this whole elevated part here. As I mentioned earlier, that stone. Here's a shot of Robin Williams and Judy. You kind of see Peter to the right there, but to the right are those two trees with that concrete behind it. His parents' stone would have been over here. So kind of a little bit behind it to the left. The back of the cemetery is over there. So now they're kind of turning in front of those two trees.
Go, go, go.
The game! Way down here behind the factory, it's actually the spot they used where the bird stole the game and Peter got it back. It was all filmed back here along this river, and you can't, it's really, really hard to get to the spot, so I'm not gonna be able to get right up there, but there's a waterfall just up this way where he hung from a branch, kind of similar to these ones, and got the game back when it was flowing through the water. But this is the river they used. It was along this river. There's a more rocky part ways up that I'd have to go all the way around to get to. Not gonna be able to get down there, but this nonetheless is the river from Jumanji. Not far at all from the factory. Picture here of the whole cast. Well, the four of them in front of that river bank, and you can see all the trees around. Hard to pinpoint the exact spot they were all standing and shooting in, but this is the river nonetheless. Getting some other good shots of this river. So, Robin Williams, Bonnie Hunt, Kirsten Dunst, all filmed on this river in 1994 and 5. Beautiful. Beautiful sunny hour to get this river in all its glory. Too bad we can't get the actual fall where he retrieves the game. But this is the river nonetheless. And that is pretty cool. Just over here, in another alleyway, they really kind of messed around with some of the filming in these alleyways. They used portions of different alleyways. You don't see this mural up here. I'm pretty sure that was there even before the movie. Pretty cool, they could have included that. That would be another movie relic. Still, can't miss a classy mural. Shot of Van Pelt after he snatches the game from Peter. You can see that brick right there behind him in the same alleyway I'm standing in right now. But you see this Coca-Cola logo in the film, this mural, this very decayed, almost not visible Coca-Cola logo in the film Jumanji. Here's a shot as the crowd starts to come around the corner. They obviously just set up that bank machine to the left, and then Peter gets the game back. Yeah, so we know that this Coca-Cola mural was certainly in the film. I know it was a part with Peter. Of course, it could have been right over here during the stampede part. I seem to remember Van Pelt, after taking the game, seeing this Coca-Cola mural around that point, but we got it covered anyway. Pretty cool. Give me that Game Boy. Whether that was here or not. You might see the Coca-Cola mural actually during the stampede scene, is I'm guessing what that was. Stampede scene took place all throughout here, so said. Pretty cool. Jumanji. Okay, so here's a shot here of the infamous Coca-Cola mural from Jumanji. Here's Peter with the game. He runs right by it after he stole it from Van Pelt. That's really what happened. And then he runs out into the middle of the intersection and the stampede comes. Road that the stampede came down in Jumanji. All the elephants and the rhinos. That little rhino that was always trailing at the end. It came right down here. Peter was stuck in the car. It's like this, kind of like a stampede, like this oncoming traffic. He was clutching to the game. He was down in the car, almost getting crushed. But he was getting crushed. Well, he didn't get crushed. He nearly did by all those rhinos and everything. Literally right here in this vicinity, almost got crushed by the stampede. Are the parishes still around? I've been in Jumanji. Oh. And that's gonna do it today. Please like, please subscribe. If you're new here, subscribe and let you know when a new episode goes up, and you never know what we're gonna be doing. Mr. Thrasha Show, thank you for helping me track down the Jumanji locations. Keene, New Hampshire, and North Berwick, Maine, and there are a couple other locations. The Sir Save-A-Lot, where they encounter Van Pelt and get this game back in the film, is actually located in BC, along with the original spot where the house was. That's in BC, but the house was made for the film and then taken down, because you see what happens to the house in the film. That was mostly all done on set. But you can visit the property in BC. I feel I got all the real locations. From the 1995 classic, Robin Williams phenomenon, Jumanji. Thanks again, everybody. I had a lot of fun doing this. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.